Hi, this is Warren Carr of Blind Android Users Podcast. For episode 107 App of the Week, I am demonstrating the just released app by Bookshare, simply called Bookshare Reader. For today's demonstration, I am utilizing my Pixel 7 Pro running Android 13 QPR Beta 2. In the way of the TTS engine, I am using Google Speech Services running variant voice number 6. I am on my home screen now and will now navigate my way to a folder called eBook Readers. This is where I have my Bookshare Reader. I'll now find and tap on eBook Readers.
Folder, eBook Readers, 4 or more items.
Here is eBook Readers. I'll tap here to activate.
Kindle.
Upon tapping on eBook Readers, we heard Kindle. I do have a couple pages of eBook Readers in this folder, and now using two fingers, I'll place the two fingers in the middle of the phone and swipe from right to left to move to the second page.
Page 2 of 2.
I am on page 2, and now we'll put my finger down, find and tap on Bookshare Reader.
Bookshare Reader.
Here is Bookshare Reader, and we'll tap here to activate.
Bookshare Reader. Bookshare logo, image.
Upon launching the app, the first thing we heard was Bookshare logo, and that is found near the top of the screen in the middle of the screen. Below that, though, we have some important things regarding logging in. The first heading we come across is
Username.
Username, and because it's important, it has an asterisk or a star.
Asterisk.
And below that,
Edit box.
edit box for the username, which is typically your email address. And next, the next heading we come across will be the password.
Password.
And it's equally important, and therefore,
Asterisk.
and below that,
Password, edit box.
password edit box. The next button is the login button.
Button, log in.
Now, I do want to mention here in passing that if you forget your password, you cannot say, I forgot my password and I need to reset. For that, you'll have to log on to the Bookshare website and there reset your password. The app at the moment does not have a feature where you could tap on I forgot my password. Now, below that, we have a couple more items, and the first one will be,
Not a Bookshare member yet. Visit Bookshare to learn more.
if you're not a Bookshare member, you could tap here to learn more on how to become a Bookshare member. The last item here talks about the fact that this is a live reader.
Build type, live version, 1.0.1.
That's all we have on this page. I will now go ahead and pause this recording, enter all my credentials, and then we'll resume from here. I am now in the main UI of the app. I just finished signing in, and the first thing we heard here is near the top in an edit field where it says
Search for a great book, edit box.
search for a great book. Now below that, we've got a couple tabs. We've got
Recent books, tab, selected.
Recent Books tab, and to the right of that is the Downloads tab.
Downloads, tab.
At the bottom, we have a couple tabs as well. At the very bottom left, we've got
Tab, My Library, selected.
My Library, and to the right of that is the My Profile or Profile.
Tab, Profile.
I do want to mention here that the profile, all that the profile has is simply your username, email address, and language, and things like that. Not much to write about in the Profile tab. Now, in the middle of all of this are the recent books. These are the books that you've added in your reading list on your Bookshare account. I do have some here, and I'm going to show you what we have and show you how it operates. I do, however, wish, though, that Bookshare had included a settings right here on this main UI, especially there should have been the settings to the right of the Downloads tab. In this case, there's no such a thing. You're not going to find the settings until you open up a book, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to find one of my books.
Right to Ride by Blair Kelly.
So I got some of those books there.
Lovesick Blues by Paul Hempel. Press
Here's
to read
one.
if downloaded, or view details if not downloaded.
There's one called Lovesick Blues, and to the right of that, now to the right of each book is the download button.
Download Lovesick Blues button.
I'll move my finger back to the title.
Lovesick Blues by Paul Hempel. Press to read if downloaded, or view details if not downloaded.
So in other words, if it's been downloaded, when you tap on it, you'll be able to start reading right away. If it is not downloaded, when you tap on it, then it's going to give you info about the book and then give you some other tabs or other buttons. I'll go ahead and tap on it. I'm not going to download it at the moment.
Book information. Book information.
Tapping on that, we heard book information. And to the top left corner, we have the typical navigate the top. Now down below that, we have the cover or the image cover of the book.
Lovesick Blues cover image.
And to the right of that, we have the download button.
Lovesick Blues. Download Lovesick Blues button.
And that's found to the right of the cover. And to the right of that is the Read Now button.
Read Now button.
Now, I do want to commend Bookshare for doing this because it makes it easy for people to be able to read what they have in their account. Even if you don't have enough storage on your device to store the books, you can simply tap on the Read Now so long as you have an internet connectivity. So I think this is a very good feature that Bookshare has implemented. For the time being, though, I'm going to tap on Download.
Download Lovesick Blues button.
I'll tap on that.
Loading.
Now, whether you download the book or you don't download but simply tap on Read Now, you will find the same settings and all of that. So now I believe that I have downloaded it because upon tapping on Download Now, that Download Now button is gone. All that we have left is the Read Now button.
Read Now button.
I'll tap on that.
Settings button.
We are now on the reading page, and here you heard Settings button that is found on the top right corner. And that's the settings that I was talking about, that it should have been placed right in the main UI of the app, because it is not just something that's locally or localized to a book, but these settings, whatever change you make in these settings, is a global thing. So it's not localized to the book that you're currently reading. Now, I do want to mention here that there are other tabs here as well. We are in this place where we have the settings, but then we have some buttons at the bottom. And these buttons at the bottom, starting from the bottom left, we've got
Navigate through the book button.
Navigate through the book. To the right of that, we've got
Tap to go to the previous paragraph of the text button.
the next button on the right will be
Play button.
and the last button to the right of that will be
Tap to skip to the next paragraph of the text button.
that's what we have at the bottom.
Lovesick Blues, heading 1.
Now, I'm not going to read this here because of copyright problems and things like that. But what I want us to do is to tap on that settings, because it's a very important thing that we need to go into. I'll therefore put my finger down and tap on settings found near the top right corner.
Settings button.
Here is settings, and I'll tap here to activate.
Settings.
Upon tapping on Settings, we are now on a page that has some tabs at the top, and it is the Quick Set, and to the right of that, we have the Audio tab,
Audio tab unselected, tab.
and to the right of that,
Text tab unselected, tab.
Text tab,
Page tab unselected, tab.
Page tab, and the last tab on the right
Color tab unselected, tab.
is the Color tab. Here's what I'm talking about. I'll use the Color tab to show you that whatever settings you make are global. For instance, if we tap on the Color tab
Color tab selected, tab.
and put my finger down,
White background, black text, yellow sentence highlight, orange word highlight, button.
move to the right,
Black background, lemon text, blue sentence highlight, magenta word highlight, button.
move to the right,
Lemon background, black text, light blue sentence highlight, orange word highlight, button.
So let's say I choose this lemon background tab by tapping.
Lemon background, black text, light blue sentence highlight, orange word highlight. Selected.
That's selected. Now I go back. And if you can see that my background is now looking lemony. I'll go back
Navigate up, button.
and I'll put my finger down.
Hank Williams is not just one of America's
That is that book information. Now I'm going to go back to the menu eye and show you by tapping on another book.
Search for a great book, edit box.
I'll put my finger down randomly and see which book I land on.
The Bin Laden Papers by Nellie LaHood. Press to read if
There's something
downloaded.
called the Bin Laden Papers. I'm going to tap on this.
Book information.
Now there was something else that I wanted us to look at. We needed to go into the audio settings. But for now though, instead of tapping on download, I'm going to tap on read now.
Read now, button.
And if you can see some, you can see that I have that lemon background. Now that I'm showing the book, I'm going to go to the settings because there was one important settings that we didn't look at, and that will be the audio settings, that is choosing a TTS. I'll find and tap on Settings, found near the top right.
Settings, button.
Here is Settings. I'll tap.
Settings.
If you remember, I talked about the audio tab. Now I'll tap on that audio tab.
Audio tab unselected, tab.
We'll tap here.
Audio tab selected, tab.
Upon tapping on audio tab, we have some buttons. Starting from the left, just below those tabs, we've got
Audio speed.
the audio speed heading, and we got,
Decrease audio speed to 80%, button.
and to the right of that,
Increase audio speed to 120%, button.
keep going right.
Set default audio speed to 100%, button selected.
And now below that,
Voice.
we have the voice heading, and we've got,
Voice selection menu, button.
we have something that says voice selection menu. And to the right of that,
Play voice sample, button.
play voice sample. If I tap here, it will play the currently selected voice sample. Here's what I'm talking about.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
So in this case, it's using the variant 6 that I have from Google Speech Service. And by the way, these voices are from the Google Speech Services. The only problem that we have here is that you cannot select a locally stored TTS engine. For example, let's say you have some a cappella voices or some vocalizer voices. You cannot choose any of those. These voices come directly from Google, from the way I hear them. I'll move my finger to the left and we'll tap on that voice selection.
Voice selection menu, button.
Go ahead and tap here.
Voice 1. Voice 1, menu item.
And all of these are either voice 1, voice 2, voice 3, and on and on and on. It would have been nice if there were a play sample to the right of each of these voices, but as it is right now, you can only hear the sample after you've selected the voice you want and not knowing what it sounds like. Here's what I'm talking about. I'll put my finger down on one of these at random.
Voice 6, menu item.
Here's voice 6. I'm going to tap.
Voice 6. Selected. Bookshare Reader. Voice selection menu, button.
Now I'm back to the voice selection menu, and it's not even telling me that I have selected voice 6. Now if I move my finger to the right and tap on that play, I should be able to hear the sample of that voice 6 that I just chose from the other screen.
Play voice sample, button.
Tap here.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
And that's how you select voices. Now let's keep going.
Voicing options.
Voicing options, and what this means is that what would you like to hear when you have the voicing options, and these things are checked by default, and if you don't want them, you uncheck these things. And the first one we have is
voice page numbers, checked.
Voice the page numbers. So in other words, let me know whether I'm on page 6, page 5, or whatever page it is. Next item is
voice page numbers. Voice image descriptions, checked.
Voice image description, checked. And they have a disclaimer here which says,
note, if a book from a publisher is not well formatted, some voicing options may not work well.
And the last item here,
reset audio defaults, button.
Reset audio defaults. I'm going to go back to the previous screen.
Navigate through the book, button.
We heard navigate through the book. If I tap here,
book navigation.
Here are the items that we find.
Tab, table of contents, selected.
We have some tabs here at the top. The first tab says table of contents. To the right of that we have
tab, bookmarks.
Bookmarks.
Tab, book info.
And book info. Now, you can move your finger around or swipe around to find the chapter that you want. For example, if I put my finger down and explore.
The birth of the idea of September 11th. What led to the decision, and why I'm the calamity. Musing on Mullah Omar's legacy. Displaced.
So as you can hear, I'm moving through the different portions of the book, and if I want to start on any of those, I just tap on that to read. I'm going to go back.
Image.
And I'm going to go back again.
The Bin Laden Papers.
Now I'm in the main UI of the app where we saw the other books.
Search for a great book.
Now I want to show you how you can go about deleting a book. I believe that I downloaded that Lovesick Blues books, and since we're in the main UI, you could either tap on the Downloads tab or simply swipe from right to left with 2 fingers, and that also will take you to your downloads. I'll swipe from the middle of the phone with 2 fingers going left.
Downloads. Page 2 of 2.
Put my finger down.
Lovesick Blues by Paul Hempel. Press to read.
Now in the event that you want to read it, you just tap it and go tap on that play. I do also want to mention here in passing that this does not support the 2-finger double tap to stop or start the playback. You must tap on that play button, which then becomes the play, or rather, once you tap on the play, it becomes the pause button, and once you tap on that, it becomes the play button. Now to the right of the book, let's say I want to delete this book, then there's an option there that says More.
More button.
And that's to the right of each of the title of the books that are found in your downloaded folder. I'll tap here.
Pop-up window. Bookshare Reader. Downloaded book options.
It says Downloaded book options.
Delete Lovesick Blues from device. Menu item.
The first item is delete the item. or delete the book.
Cancel, menu item.
And then there's a cancel button. I'm not going to delete my book because if you do, it will delete it from your
Bookshare
device,
Reader.
but it's not going to delete it from your account. That has been a quick overview of the Bookshare Reader. And again, congratulations to Bookshare for bringing us a really nice book reader. Thanks for listening.